Well, hello, Night Riders and INFJers and everybody else. A big welcome. I'm Sadie. Many thanks for swinging by. Today's video excites me. I love education and learning the MBTI. It's quite the fascinating, well thought out, highly accurate assessment tool to determine personality type and all a personality encompasses. Isabel and Catherine were quite the clever, inquisitive duo, as was Mr. Carl Jung, which whom the theory was designed after. So today, let's briefly summarize each letter of the INFJ personality type, their primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary functions, and letter combinations and how those combos communicate with each other. Sounds fun? Stick around. MBTI cognitive functions. Definition of cognitive. Okay, 16 personality types. Each type has 4 main letters and 1 subletter to define each type. The first letter, I or E, introvert or extrovert, how they're energized. Second, intuition or sensing, represented by N or S, how they focus that energy. The third letter you see here is an F or a T, so feeling or thinking, how they decide. Fourth, represented by a J or P is judging or perceiving. So interaction with the world. Here's your letter meanings. Personality type subcategories. A or T, assertive or turbulent. So cognitive functions define the root of the personality type. The base structure was thanks to Carl Jung's experience being a renowned psychologist. The Jungian concept helps bring understanding to how the brain operates. Now each type utilizes all 8 functions, but in different orders, based on dominant characteristics. This is referred to as the function stack. The stack interprets how each combination of letters talk to each other. Take a look at this picture here. So the INFJ breakdown is these 4 functions in order. Introverted intuition. They label that NI. Please note, in this category, the first letter is the characteristic. The lowercase second letter is how that trait is absorbed and expressed. So introvertedly or inwardly, or extrovertly externally. Back to INFJs. Next in line, the FE, extroverted feeling. TI, introverted thinking. Then the quaternary, or what's referred to as the inferior function. I don't really like that word inferior because I don't see a healthy INFJ neglecting this function. It would be SE. SE being extroverted sensing. Relating to placement of function and primary, secondary, tertiary, or inferior, it is based again on dominant strengths. Now, just to make it more clear, the first dominant function would be the primary, or called dominant. The secondary is what's called the auxiliary. Then you have your tertiary and your quaternary, which many refer to as inferior. And again, this is all based on your dominant strengths in order. Now that letter placement has been determined, let's move along to the actual functioning aspects. Each personality type utilizes 4 main functions, comprised of 2 perceiving and 2 judging functions. This balance creates a more whole understanding of the person's inner and outer aspects, meaning what they keep inside and what they keep stewing over and what they reveal. This balance also creates a healthy understanding of their development and the health of that development, meaning the balance between both introverted and extroverted skills. With 4 top performing or performing functions, there are 4 lesser used ones, and often consuming ones. These are called shadow functions. The 4 are the opposition, the critical parent, the trickster, and the demon. To synopsize shadow INFJ functions, see this chart. So shadow functions are the cringy or unhealthy aspects. They don't overtake a healthy INFJ, so hissy fits are rare. The unhealthy INFJ will lash out and live in misery. So just to put the shadow functions in a snapshot, the first function appears when defenses are up. So an example of expression would be temper tantrums. That second function is that critical parent role, so it's a voice in your head telling you to turn back or stay in place instead of move forward. Then we have that stupid trickster. He's a deceptive function. It's the ego's armor. An example of expression for the trickster would be bragging or being a narkhead. So the fourth would be the demon. This is the most suppressed, yet it's still lingering. And this is the one we have the least conscious control over as an INFJ. With this, an INFJ will take past experiences and utilize it, forgetting the positive in each negative. Meaning, they may forget the lessons learned and repeat errors. So back to INFJ dominant functions. Number 1 is NI. This is our general and foremost perception of things, situations, and the world. In short, the INFJ's NI dominance provides abundant aha moments, if that makes sense. Next is that FE, so we see and express. We are the type who see beneath skin deep and see your flesh. Due to a strong NI, that introverted knowing and sensing and energy absorption, they can spot heroes and fakes, and they're the type to root for the underdog. And with that NI and FE so in sync, this super mixture grants them the titles: the advocate, the sage, the poet, the idealist, the counselor. The INFJ NI-FE is a gift from above, and those higher powers that knew that life on Earth needed this type of personality. The tertiary INFJ cognitive function, that TI. Our decision-making is based off of detailed analytic, research, exploratory skills, and passion. If an INFJ enjoys the topic, they will research all angles, and they'll be like, wow, with each tidbit they learn. Due to all this, with NI and FE so strong, and then if TI wanders in and heightens it, they're apt to have life-changing ideas and come up with idealistic strategies to conquer obstacles they foresee. So if TI wandered in and it did not heighten the NI-FE and bogs it down, which the NI-FE is a molecule of the INFJ in its own right. Both seem to be protons, yet they stick together regardless. But with TI bogging it down, an INFJ can become cautious and question themselves. This can cause procrastination or a standstill. Example, parking your car in procrastination station. The INFJ inferior function is that extroverted sensing, SE. SE is so focused on the here and the now, very in the moment. SE is observant, practical with a powerful awareness of the physical world. With this as a quaternary or inferior function, and less developed in many, not most, gives the INFJ the appearance of awkwardness. That's why many INFJs prefer to hang out with extroverted types. SE comes with maturity and age. So if SE walks in the room and heightens the NIFE and the TI added to that strength, this harmony would cause an INFJ to be motivated and fulfill goals and dreams, whether scary or unknown. If the TI mixes with the SE and the mixture is negative, it becomes toxic. It'll explain how some INFJs go rawr. See INFJ maniacs, madmen, and mayhem, oh my, for some INFJ psychos and sociopaths. Often a TI-SE toxicity comes with a weighing, dark, prolonged mental illness of sorts. It could be depression, psychopathy, bipolar mania, or other personality disorders. An off-kilter TI-SE creates a detriment in the left frontal lobe, which is associated with positive emotions and social connectedness, and a stronger, heightened right frontal lobe, which stores negative emotions and triggers depression. Furthermore, the amygdala and hippocampus are also defected too. These are the storage centers of the emotional memory itself and then the context of the memory, respectively. By context, meaning the where and the how stuff linked to the incident that caused the memory. With improper formation, synapses damage, potential scars, holes, and so on, the health of the development was determined by nature as a youngin', and then nurture as they aged and navigated real life. Each memory, each trauma, each development or progression carries its own energy mixture of its own. All things are derived from energy. With a common upbringing and experiences, INFJs develop into such, INFJ types. So with everything individually and collectively, with our experiences and memories, an INFJ may fall out of line with a dimmed NIFE combo or a dimmed NIFE singly. With further insight, an INFJ develops and strengthens that NIFE. With a strong NIFE, a healthy TI can fall into play as discussed. With a healthy NIFE TI, that SE wouldn't be so shadowy. Let's go to INFJ subcategories briefly. The A or T option. An INFJ A or assertive INFJ, they're more chill. They're more laxed with a confident air. INFJ turbulent or INFJ-Ts, they tend to question their ability and worth more. They're more sensitive to negative stimuli or stressors, but they're slightly more empathetic. In essence, to the A or T, it's the emotional filter. Ts are more susceptible to a case of the blues. They see more black than white. In a nutshell, A and Ts, though, when it comes to INFJs, they're still more similar than different, really. More so than the other 15 personality types. Well, that closes today's INFJ session. I hope this kind of assisted in learning more of INFJ characteristics and functions. This probably bore the fuck out of you, and I'm so sorry. But I have to admit it was fun with a capital F for me. But I'm Sadie. Thank you all so much for being here and for watching. Until next time, peace.